Welcome. I'd like us to read from Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 11. Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 11. We are discussing the topic giving in times of crisis. And our present focus are the different types of giving. One of such type of giving is stated in Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 11. It says, "For the poor shall never cease out of the land. Therefore I command thee, saying, Thou shalt open thine hand wide unto thy brother, to thy poor, and to thy needy in thy land." We are talking about giving to the poor. The Bible says that you will always have the poor around you. Jesus also confirmed this in one of his teaching. He said that the poor shall not cease from your land. And so, whatsoever time or when you have the opportunity, you should give them, you should help them. That is to say to us that giving to the poor holds in store a particular blessing. Holds in store a particular blessing. That means that the opportunity to give to the poor is the opportunity to rise. One of such people who rose to the peak by giving to the poor was Job. The Bible talks about him that he was eyes to the blind. He was father to the fatherless. Job rose to the top in his business. He became the greatest businessman in the East. And one of his secrets was giving to the poor. Giving to the poor. In fact, the Bible tells us, reading from the story of Job, that giving to the poor, that even the poor carries with them some blessing. Every time you give to them, you contact their blessing. You contact that blessing. That's why it is written in the book of Job that the blessing of the perishing came upon me. Every time you perform a good deed to the poor, you contact such blessing. We are talking about giving to the poor. The Bible also says that when you give to the poor, you are indirectly lending to the Lord, and God will repay you back. Giving to the poor, or the opportunity of giving to the poor, is an everlasting one, because the Bible says that the poor will always remain among us. So there is no time that you will not have the opportunity to give to the poor. Every time everything that Jesus Christ taught, he did. On one occasion, in John chapter 13, and from verse 27 to 29, he told Judas Iscariot, he said, that which you want to do, he said, do quickly. And other disciples, they thought that he was saying that Judas Iscariot should go and give to the poor. That is to tell us that Jesus gave to the poor regularly during his earthly ministry. I will encourage every one of us to follow this same habit. Make it a habit, make it a practice to always give to the poor. Don't be that kind of person that eats every blessing of God in his life alone. You must keep certain things for the poor around you. Look around yourself. There are people who cannot even afford a single meal in a day. Cook for them. Look for those families who are having difficulty in paying their house rent. Help them to pay it. There are some who have been sent from school, away from school, because they are unable to pay their school fees. Help them. In so doing, you are contacting the blessing that they carry. That man that is looking frustrated, that man that is suffering deprivation, he has a blessing upon his life. When you are that person who provides solution to the frustration, the concerns of that individual, you encounter such blessing. It's very, very important. It's a secret of the kingdom that I will encourage every one of us to begin to practice. Like every form of giving, giving to the poor also has its own blessing. It carries some blessing. And so I pray for you that you will receive grace to begin to do this, giving to the poor. Someone said, people do not care how much you know until they know how much you care. It is well. Here's my recommendation to you for further study and meditation on this. Proverbs chapter 19, verse 17. Proverbs chapter 28, verse 27. Psalms chapter 41, verses 1 and 2. Matthew chapter 26, verse 11. John chapter 3, verse 27 to 29. God bless you. I hope to come again with another package. Bye for now.